Hello everyone. I am about to start streaming to Cabrias, your favorite programmer that's not Mabel. Hello everyone. I am Alright, so I have push to talk on, so I need to remember to use it. Don't want you hearing my heavy breathing or keyboard taps. Today we're going to be working on animations, specifically skating anims, or skiing. So right now we have a shared ski blend space. This means shared in this case means that all the characters will share this animation or can share this animation. They can override it, but and it will blend between multiple directions, which I'll show in a sec. Alright, so if I just move between these anims on this graph, it will just the character will blend between them. The bottom ones are slow or no movement, and the top ones are fast movement. Something I'm gonna do real quick is, oh shit. Something I'm going to do real quick is turn off, oh it is already off, making sure that interpolation is off so that when I do a 360-degree rotation it doesn't try to go all the way back the other way. I've already graphed out some of this, how this will work. So basically in the locomotion graph on the player, if they're skating, I'll switch to the skating state. Right now the anim doesn't move, by the way, this is temporary. I'll move to the skating state and then we can change the direction here and their speed. The problem I gotta work on today is how to make their direction determined irrelevant of the actor, the capsule direction. So what I mean by that is if I start the game, I start at 2 players actually. Alright, so now I'm gonna inject. And select the character. Alright, so this character, whenever they turn and face another direction, which I'll do real quick. I can't do that, sorry. I can't do it from there. But basically when they turn direction, their whole actor, their whole rotation changes. So when they're skating, we don't want the character to rotate, and I'll show you why in a bit. What I mean, what I'm going for. So let's turn this on. I had disabled this. This is something I wrote earlier. Alright, so let's just see how this looks right now as is. I might need to change one more thing. Alright, so before I was equating skating with floating. Basically, I wasn't using the skating animation, just the floating animation when they were skating in the game. And when the character turns and faces a direction, like their whole body moves with them. What I'm trying to do now is something where their whole body doesn't move with them. Instead, their upper torso rotates to face where they want to look. The kitty cam is for the kitty cat, who is not here right now. So there's an elephant substitute. She's outside. She's being active. Alright, so I've no longer equated skating and floating. Let's compile. Let's test this. Right, so you can't see it, but basically wherever this player right now is facing is not exactly accurate. So if I face left, and the top left one is not facing left. If I face right, he's not facing right. So I need to make it so that wherever he's facing is accurately represented to the other player. I just realized how hard this is gonna be to do without, while talking. But I'll try to talk my way through it. I'm working on skiing animations. Basically, how to show that the player is skating, not like floating, not jetting, visually, and how to make it look good, which is hard to do. So I might have a demo video So here's a video of what I'm going for. Basically, their legs align with their velocity. So I make a rotation from their velocity. That rotation minus our rotation gives us the direction we want to face. And then we also need to set the move direction when we're facing a certain distance away. So let's output this value to get some ideas of what that means. I know I just deleted this too. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna figure out what the value that this puts out, just to give myself a qualitative result, or a quantitative idea. I don't know. And I only want to do this on one player, so it doesn't spam. I don't really care, actually. Basically, when I'm facing right along the direction I want to go, it's 0, I think. Let's check that by going from a different angle. Yeah, it's around 0. If I face to the right, it'll be like negative 90. Let's try it over here. Negative 90. Okay, so now what I want to do is when I'm within one of those, when I'm within 45 degrees of direction, I'm gonna switch the blend space to that direction. Let's verify that none of this is being called. Not skating, not floating. We're going to make sure that this variable isn't being infected anywhere else. I'm going to change the move direction variable. Alright, so after we've set our root rotation, this angle, we'll use it. I wonder if I actually need this. Getting rid of an interpolation, because it might not be necessary. I don't know. Yeah, the interpolation, I mean, it is necessary, I guess. But I'm gonna mess with this a bit. I'll leave it out for now. Alright, so we're gonna set move direction. This move direction again will be applied to the blend space that I showed you earlier to show what direction the character is facing. We want to choose an angle on that based on this. We don't want to just pass in this exactly, or else I'll show you what that looks like. If we pass in our the angle we're facing and use that as move direction, it'll work. It just will not, it'll not do what I want it to do, which is to not rotate the player until they're facing all the way in a certain direction, or most of the way in a certain direction. So you can see there, with it on, now the character will turn around all the way. I'm talking about the top left window, by the way. The third person view. Like, this works, but we want to make it better than that. So we're going to select a move direction based on, or we're going to clamp. How do I do this? We're going to, once we hit a certain angle, we're going to clamp the move direction along one of the blend space animations, like at 90 degrees, at 180 degrees, etc. Alright, so one of the angles would be from, here's our character's head. Here's their gun. Alright, so when they're moving straight along, here's their velocity. When they're moving along, when they're facing along their velocity, where they're looking is along their velocity, that will be 0. Alright. When they face to the right here, but their velocity is the same, they're still moving that direction. It's negative 90. It's negative 90 as we saw. I might turn off push to talk. This is messing me up. Alright, push to talk is off. Let me know if you have any sound issues. Alright, this direction is negative 90. And down is negative 180 and positive 180. Depending on what side you're coming from. And over here is 90. Alright, so this is all relative to this up arrow right here. This, your velocity, what direction you're moving and what direction you're looking. Alright, so now what we do is we'll zone these out, because we want to, instead of blending between all the directions, we're gonna only pick a direction at 45-degree angles between them, intervals. Alright, so when we're above 45 degrees or under 135 degrees, we're going to pick the 90-degree angle. If we're between 45 and negative 45, we're going to pick 0. And if we're greater than 135 or less than negative 135, we're going to pick 180 / negative 180. And then the last one, we're going to pick negative 90. When we pick these, we set it in the blend space, and I'll jump to the right angle, and I'll blend between, like, he'll rotate there naturally, or, I mean, as naturally as the animation looks. And the animation is a work in progress, so don't judge it too hard. It's not my animation. but it's pretty good, I think, for now. It's one frame, so there's not really any motion into it. So, what do we say? If we're less than -45, let's do. There might be another one. Range. In range, this is better. Okay, the minimum is -45. The maximum is 45. Inclusive, exclusive. We'll do exclusive. All right. Now we're gonna select a float. Select float. All right. So if we're within that, if we're within -45, 45, as I said before, we'd pick 0. All right. Is there a way I can like collapse this? Hide. No. All right. Next, we'll do we'll pick A if we're within that range, which is 0. We're gonna need multiple select floats, which isn't exactly pretty at all. All right, so now if we're within -45, the max is now -45 because it's negative, and the min is now -135. If we're in that range, we'll pick -90. Let's do the +90. All right, so if we're the min is 45 and the max is 135. We pick 90, and the last one would be 180. All right, so go over this real quick. Whatever our rotation is relative to our velocity, which we got from getting our velocity, making a rotation from it, and getting our actor's rotation, which is the capsule, the collision capsule, whatever. And we did the difference between them, and we get something like these angles based on where we're facing. We will then try to select a float. If we can't pick A, we'll try to pick from B, which if we pick from B, we'll pick here. If we can't pick from A on this one, we'll pick from B, which will pick from here. And each one of those is chosen based on those angles that I showed you, or if I'm within the minimax or whatever. So really quick, let's just see how this works. I could have done it backwards if I wasn't paying attention, right? And I'm actually gonna have the bigger window show. Can't. Let me do something different. Alright, so let's see what happens. Going forward, turn right, turn. He went too fast. I need to lower my mouse sensitivity too. Sensitivity. Alright, so I'm moving slowly at him. I'm looking right now. I'm looking behind me. I'm looking to the. Damn it. Alright, I'll do it the other way too. Look left. Alright, so it blends pretty cleanly between them. And I stick along my velocity, and then based on how fast I'm going, that's how much I scrunch my knees, I guess. So now I've like lowered my knees a lot, but if I was going slow, my knees aren't bent so much. Do you guys remember? Have you gone skiing? Do you wanna? Do we French fry or do we pizza when we're when we're trying to slow down or speed up. I don't remember. Alright, so that step's done. That actually worked out. That worked a lot better than I expected. Pizza when slowing down. That makes sense. When do you French fry? We're not actually showing. There's no actual pizza or French frying of the characters, though. I'm just trolling here. Right, so we have the move direction. Next, we need to set our. Isn't that a term? Maybe I'm like thinking of a joke from a TV show. Was it South Park? I don't know. Yeah, okay, French fry to go fast. Nailed it. Here, this I think explains everything you need to know. Alright. These will be exclusive skins for me. Alright, so we've got the direction down, but now let's pay attention to this real quick. When you are turning, it doesn't actually look like... Let me show both games at once so you can get a good idea. So many monitors. Which monitor do I go in? Alright. I really need a smaller weapon. Or no weapon. That's broken. Okay. When I turn right, like slowly, you don't see it until I've turned all the way into that angle. And that's because of the move direction stuff I just did. Right? It only picks the direction it's gonna face once you've hit a certain angle. Alright? And that's because I want to do the rest of the stuff upper body only. So his feet are going to be locked down like that. But I will rotate his upper body. Now there's two ways I can do this. I have animation that's specifically for looking left or right. I did. And I don't right now. Let me get it real quick. Skating test. Okay, this is what I need. What? What do they need to be resolved against? I'm just gonna ignore that for now. Alright, so we have 2 new animations here that I just loaded. One where he looks to the left, and one where he looks to the right. Now right now for most of the stuff, we only have up and down. Here's the centered one, here's down, here's up. And then we blend between those in, where is this blend space? Right here. So when, like, based on what angle the character's looking at, it blends between them. This is so we don't have to animate, like, every angle and whatnot. So we only have up and down, though, and we just spin the character when they're looking left or right. So now I'm going to do it so that when they look left or right, but I'm going to make it a different blend space. Because we're only going to do this on skating for now until it's, until it works well with the lower body stuff. I mean, when walking and jetting and whatnot, we'll do that eventually. When jetting is kind of unnecessary because the character wants to turn their whole body in the direction they're going to be jetting, probably. So let's make a blend space new. I don't have this up right now on the screen. It'll take a second though, and then you'll see something. We're gonna base this off of our skeleton, which is the 3P shared. BS 3P shared. I'm actually renaming. I'm just changing the naming scheme as I work, which isn't the best idea sometimes, but I don't like the old naming scheme. Okay, BS character. Oh, it's an aim offset. Sorry, wrong asset. 1 second. Aim offset. 1D. 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 Juandig. SK3P shared. Alright, AO character. Yeah. Alright, so I just made this new blend space called AO character rifle Ya 3P. And it is a blend space only for looking left and right. So left is -90, right is 90. Actually, it doesn't go that far. It goes only 45 degrees. Sorry, -45, 45 degrees. We're gonna name this Ya. Did I make a joke last time using Ya like y'all? Alright, we're gonna set our preview animation to ski forward fast. And now we're gonna open up those new animations, the left and right look ones, real quick. Oh, they're already set. Okay, they're in mesh space. Okay, this is good. This is all good. So they're already set to be additive animations, which is required for an aim offset, because we don't want it to like animate the whole body. We want it to, I mean, it animates it in a way, but it adds to the existing animation instead of replacing it. Alright, so now what we do is we just drag this in. Left goes here. Alright, and right goes here. That was the wrong one. Right goes here. He's really serious about this. Okay, it doesn't look fantastic. This is all work in progress, obviously. And that particle is superbly annoying. Alright. So now we have look left and right, and we need to put the center one in there too. So this is CC, centered on both axes. Okay. Let's save that. And we definitely should adjust the flag. But that's for another time, probably. Alright, so We have our blend states. Let's test it. I actually haven't tested this on other directions, so we want to like see what ski back looks like. Does it look right? If he looks to the right, okay, yes, it works. Sweet. Beauty of additive animation. So now all we have to do is figure out the angle that we cut off of our dying battery 22. I am making the skiing animations for Midair. Or I'm not making the animations, sorry. The animations were made by an animator, and I am implementing them. And the specific implementation on skiing is that we want the character's feet to stay aligned with their... I just realized I haven't had the music on if anybody cares. We want their feet to stay aligned with their velocity direction, their vector. Just like when you're skiing. Like if you're skiing and shooting a gun, your feet don't turn in the direction you're shooting. Like that, you turn your upper body, not your lower body. Alright, so that's the idea here. This might not end up in the game at all. This is just an experiment. Alright, so go back to this graph. Go to the anim graph here. Right, so here we're applying this is the aim offset for pitch. It doesn't say, I mean for pitch, for up and down. Well, 9-volt kilowatt, you missed a whole lot of amazing stuff. Now we're just on the boring stuff. Kidding, it's all boring. Alright, so we're gonna apply another aim offset. We're gonna use the yaw one. Of course, reference to the great almighty Yahweh. And okay, 9-volt kilowatt. Thank you for following. We're gonna select a float. We are only gonna apply this if we are skating, because that is all we're supporting right now for the yaw aim offsets. This specific, if you're just joining us right now, we have it so that the character is, let me show real quick. We have it right now so that wherever the player is skiing, wherever they're facing, their legs will rotate once they hit a certain angle. Once they hit a certain range for a direction to be facing. So now we're gonna work on rotating their torso, their upper body, for because you can see right here, like their body only rotates at the last second. Alright, so we're doing the same offset. Basically when we're skiing, we're gonna apply it. Alright. Yaw 0. Okay. But we need to actually set this to something. So let's make add a new variable. AO yaw aim offset yaw. We're gonna set this here. Alright, so we'll set our yaw when we're skating. I'll pick A, pick whatever AO yaw is. Now we need to set it over here. So we got move direction down. Our move direction minus our root direction. Yeah, I have no skill in programming either. I'm kidding, but this isn't exactly programming. I mean, it is very similar to programming. I'd call it more scripting, which is still programming, but this is a easier tool to use for this kind of particular thing, because you can get instant feedback, and I think the way things flow makes it more obvious how to build this, how to implement this. Other people disagree. I do prefer working in C++ like this overall, but for this particular task, I think a blueprint is quite helpful. So, okay, so when we're facing negative 90 degrees and our root rotation is negative 90 degrees, that means all right, let's go back to the drawing board. Okay, say we're facing 90 degrees here. Then we want our aim offset, our yaw, to be 0, right? So 90 plus what value do we have? We'd have our root rotation. 90 plus a root rotation would be 90 in this case. And we end up at 180, which isn't a valid value. So what we need to do is negate this root rotation and add it to our move direction, I think. Let's think that through really quick though, one more time. So if we're facing at 45 degrees, like let's say we're facing 50. All right, let's say we're facing this direction right here, and I'm going to draw a nice line. We're facing 50. That's 50 degrees. But what is that in our aim offset blend space? Because we don't have 50 degrees. We have between negative 45 and 45 to work with. Right? Negative 45, 45. So how do we convert this 50 based on this number to what should it be? It should be 5 degrees from the right, which is 40. So if we do 90 plus a negation of our root rotation, yeah, plus a negation of our root rotation, which we get negative 50, then we get 40. All right, so let's see if this works. I know this is kind of hard to follow. I'm not trying to really teach people here, so you can throw money at me on Friday nights at Admiral Strip Club. Direction plus root rotation. We're just gonna grab it again because it's already been set. Negative plus a negation of our root rotation is just going to be minus. So we'll use a minus instead. All right, and now we're gonna set the yaw. Y'all ready for this? Why would you not want to watch Admiral's Trip? This is an original game. Jordan can give you more info. All right, let's see if it works. Gonna go slow. I'm gonna. Ooh, what is it doing? Oh. We're looking to the right. We're looking to the left. Okay, let's start printing this value so we can see what exactly is going on. Print string. Convert the float to a string. Will there be an option to switch between metric and imperial measurements for speed? I mean, can't say for certain, but it's not that hard to do. The harder part is the UI, so right now, can't say for certain, but definitely something we thought of. All right, let's make one of these people only have authority. Has only do this when they have authority. All right, so I guess we get the owner. We're reducing the print messages by just only making the server player print the messages. This is a little bit problematic, though. And that right now we're running on a dedicated server, but I can switch that. Thanks for following Dying Battery 22. Might want to recharge your battery. Alright, so the server is going to tell us. Alright, so I'm definitely messing something up, so let's do a little more math. Right now, our equation is we take our movement direction and we subtract our root rotation. Alright? Now here, like, let's make this better. They're not smaller, oh, it's void spawn. No, it's just the field of view from the vertical field of view. It's messed up because I have it filling the screen instead of it's not widescreen, that's why. You have the weapons on your build, so they're identical to that. Alright, so root rotation, we're doing move dir minus root dir, root rot. Alright, so if we, here it makes sense, but let's do the negative side. I may not be thinking this through all the way. So let's say we're facing negative 50. What is negative 90 minus negative 50? Negative 90 minus negative 50 is negative 90 plus 50 is negative 40, which is what we want because our yaw, remember, it goes from 0 to negative 45 to 45. Alright, so let's try, that one makes sense to me. I don't know about the viewers here. Let's try here. Alright, so if we are facing negative 130 minus negative 90 plus 90, it would be 40. It again makes sense. Alright, so where am I messing up? Let's test this one real quick. Just sanity check, I guess. This is move dir. Oh, I did this backwards. That might not be right. Okay, it's negative 90 minus. Am I just dumb here though? Is this gonna be the same exact thing? Yeah, it's gonna be the same exact thing. I just. You need to know MS Paint like the back of your hand. Really, that's all you need to know for game development, actually. Alright, so negative 90 plus 130 is also 40. Alright. This, I might look really stupid here, you guys. Okay, but you can't blame me. Or you can't actually think I'm stupid. I mean, I am, but doing this on stream is different. All right, so we're facing the root. There is 90 plus or minus 130 equals negative 40, which is what we want. All right, so let's try down here in the danger zone. This might be problematic because of the 180 and the negative 180. I have a whiteboard. Wait, the kitty cam is gonna move real quick. I don't know what I'm showing. My ugly ceiling. Where's my cat? Why is she not here? A whiteboard desk? That sounds awful. Absolutely awful. Alright, so... No, yeah, I'm not using the whiteboard now because I want to show you guys. And I'm also too lazy to stand up. Because I am at least 700 pounds. Alright, if we are facing... This is the problem child right here. This has to be it, because I always assume 180. So we need to do a wraparound. Not a reach around, a wraparound. From 180 to the negative side if we're going to be here. So if we're facing down the center, that's going to be 180 minus, it could be negative 180, which is going to be 360, which is stupid, like not right, obviously. We have a team of people working on this game. So no, if you're asking me, I'm a programmer. Slash tech artist now, I guess, but hey, fuck you, Void Spawn. I'm an artist. I'm just a different kind of artist. This is this is not supposed to be art, so it's supposed to be math. I know you don't know what math is, but it's pretty important. Alright, so if we are at move direction 180 and we subtract 140, we get 40, which is correct. But if we are at 180 and we subtract negative 140, we get 180 plus why am I getting messages from where? Okay, so 200, 220. We are solving complex math problems, Sephinix, for the Illuminati. $320. But Sephinix, I don't know if that's how you say your name. We're working on the skiing animation. Let me show real quick. We're looking at the right monitor, or the right screen here. My weapon is gone. Abel, you're supposed to fix this. Basically, we're making it so that the feet stay aligned with your velocity when you're moving, when you're skating. Look at that slow slide. And now we're working on the upper body part to make sure his hands, his arms are aiming in the correct direction so that you get an accurate visual representation if you are looking at the person in the third person. Alright. So this is one problem, but I think there might be another problem. So let's fix this one real quick. Alright, so if we are between 180 and negative 180, we have to do something. If we are... We can't just do this. How do we get 320 to be negative 40? You guys, can someone tell me what number you add to 320 to get negative 40? Are the chain gun barrels going to rotate at some point? Yes. Actually, really quickly, let me see if I can show something like that. Just as a quick aside. Alright, can we get... This is Oh, thank you, Jordan. Now I can continue. But I'll show this real quick though. If we open the SKM chain gun, and we go to the skeleton and we grab this guy right here. No, not that guy, that's the cartridge. Or the barrel, or whatever you call it. Alright, joint 3. We grab joint 3. And we can spin it. The reason it doesn't yet spin is because I just have not yet done... what am I going to do? Right here. Right, weapon hot. Fire speed loop. We set it to a fire speed estimate. Alright, so this guy right here, all I have to do is make it blueprint. Sorry everyone for the quick aside. Blueprint read only. Category equals weapon meta. This is going to allow us to access it also. Private. Alright, so this should expose fire speed estimate. So everyone, if you're not paying attention, I am doing something really quick that I should have done a while ago, just because somebody asked. I'm going to make the chain gun barrel spin, hopefully. Alright, so let's see what happens when I compile. Did I save that? It's not gonna be super pretty right now. What do you mean, how do you mix blueprints with C++? No, it's not one or another. This game is not... this game is mostly made in C++. That'd be horrific if we made this whole game in Blueprint. Alright, so... This is not the right file. we want to open up the animation blueprint. This guy. Alright. So now what we're going to do is say get owning actor, cast to chain gun attachment. We don't need that, we just need the weapon attachment. Alright. And you could theoretically make this game entirely in Blueprint, if you were a maniac. And hey, it's not D-Ray on the stream, okay? I need a break from that problem mentally. Just real quick. This is gonna be really fast. Fire speed estimate. It's almost done. Almost done. Fire speed. Float. Set. Okay, we're setting the fire speed here. Now we go to the anim graph, and we're gonna rotate the shit out of that bone. Based on add transform modify bone. Alright, so again we're gonna spin that joint. What's that joint's name? And I'll get back to Jordan's negative 360 answer in a sec. I do want to just show that this works. Chain gun, joint 3. Alright, modify bone, joint 3. Add to existing. This is not going to match up perfectly. For that problem, you are trying to translate an angle to a congruent angle mod 360 within the interval from including negative 180 to 180 exclusive. Yes, kind of. Oh, this is exciting. I can't save this, can I? Oh yeah, I can. Okay. He's inclusive of negative 180 because okay, I will get back to you, Cliff Ford. I don't know, whatever your name is. Clifford. In a sec. Let me finish this real quick. Because 9 volt kilowatt is making me do this. All I have to do though, Clifford, is just a quick Clifford. Like the big red dog. What am I doing? Roll? I can do its yaw. And bone space. Alright, let's test this real quick. Whoa, look at this. It's amazing. This is not working at all like I expected. I thought it would keep adding. Fire speed. Alright, this is a harder problem than I thought it would be. And it's not that much harder, but let me get back to let me correct this really quick. I thought I put this in bone space. Wrong one. Yeah, that makes it spin. We're spread out over various locations. Alright. So it spins. I have to do a little more work. Let me but I was just showing that it can spin and I almost have it in place. But let's get back to what I was focused on before I got sidetracked. What I was just gonna do is if this yaw is greater than I mean, for now, like this is pretty simple. If it's greater than 180, then we just have to subtract 360. Yeah, sorry, my cat usually actually sits next to me. I just forgot that was up. Image. And I'm down in hell. In response to Jordan's up in Vancouver. What do you mean? Jordan's like the mastermind. Is from negative 180 to 180. Let me check. This is like... Basically, if I'm not within any of the other intervals, which are all... if I'm not in any of the other intervals, then I default to just the 180 position. The root rotation will be... it could end up being negative... We have to look at the code for this actually to see how... Because that's not determined by me, I don't think. Sorry if I'm being really dumb about math right now. Kismet math library dot delta. Does that answer your question, Clifford? It is negative 180 exclusive to 180 inclusive. I don't know where you think that I'm doing something that would that's determined by the code, by Unreal's code there for delta rotator. So anyway, all I care about is it right now. Like it's really simple. If the number is greater than 180, actually, if the number is greater than 45, then already it's too large, and I need to subtract. But right now, I'm gonna just do 180. If it's greater than 180, if it's less than, we'll pick B. But if it's greater than, we're gonna subtract minus. And what was that number, Jordan? It was 360. Good job, Jordan. Very good. A plus. All right. This will fix. I'm just setting this value twice, so I don't. So just clear what's happening. Basically, we set AOYA and then we adjust it. All right. Set it again. Alright, this is not going to fix all of our problems, but it will fix a problem. Basically, if we're facing backwards, which I don't know what that direction is. This is backwards, I think. Alright, it's choosing a new move direction. We gotta go over some of these values again. Oh, I missed whoever just followed. Wrecked. Thank you, Wrecked, for following the Church of Cabrias. Can I do this in slow motion? Slow-mo, point 1. Alright, so bam. 180. Let me look at these values from here, what this looks like, and when the values are exactly what I want them to be. But before I do that, I'm going to grab water. Be right back. And we're back. All right. If our root rotation is there a way I can make this not dependent on I'm gonna do something here. Event graph. I want to make it so that this code is not dependent if I could set actor rotation, yeah, that'll make this easier to debug. Okay. So right now, basically, in this little preview instance, there's no actor owner, so it doesn't go through. You see this little flow, and so a lot of the stuff that I've coded doesn't happen within this little window. And I can control this little window a lot more with all these variables. So what I'm gonna do is make it so that whatever doesn't need this guy is going to just ignore it. So seq. Is this playing? All right. All right, let's see what's happening. All this stuff is owner dependent. Sweet. So gotta make sure that you only call that with an owner. In fact, I'm gonna take this out, open this up, put this little block in here. All right. Next one, hand IK, not being used. In fact, I'm just gonna cut that guy out for now. Floating, all right. For now, I'm gonna say floating is owner dependent, which it is here, but I can make it so that this value and this value are actually provided elsewhere. Walking will do the same thing for now. But this will make debugging easier in the future. I actually don't know why. This is the first time I ever thought of doing it this way. It's all thanks to you guys, specifically Jordan, the shoe kid. Can't save. Holy shit. This is wildly problematic. I need everyone to take a big old mental note of what's happening in here. And actually, I'm just gonna copy all this. Okay, that's the biggest one. Can't save it because Unreal has some issues on occasion. Light mail, I won't save. Character, yeah, 3P, yes, I'll save that. Please save. Okay, so I have to relaunch. That could have been bad. If you don't save frequently, you don't notice stuff like that. Like maybe it'll crash, maybe it's not saving correctly, and you can lose a lot of work. So let's see. I couldn't save that blueprint. I don't remember the last time I saved it. Let's see. What's the damage? I'm gonna paste in what I had. Okay, I copied it before I quit. Alright, so it's just this guy goes here. And And let's save this. Yeah, it wasn't crashing. I mean, that happens, but in that case, it just wasn't allowing me to save this asset. So luckily, since it wasn't a crash, I could copy the work that I wasn't sure what I had saved last time. I could copy it and then I could reload it. And that happens with Blueprint and C++ working together. Was it Sketch who asked about that earlier? Basically, if I recompile a blueprint, or if I recompile the C++ side, it works pretty well, except if you start modifying header files, basically the declarations of classes, and when then you get like these weird instances where Unreal doesn't know what to do with an object because it's not sure. The data on it is now corrupt from the recompile, so you have to restart it. And I didn't restart because I was on stream and I just was hoping it would work, but it did work. And actually, surprisingly enough, the thing that wouldn't save is not the thing that I changed in the code side. So I don't even know what was happening there. If that makes sense. All right. We are going to make it so that this guy is not dependent on this guy. And we can do that. Oh. Okay, so what we're going to do is pull back here. We're going to make a variable called actor. We're just going to make it called velocity. We're going to cache this value off. All right. And I'll make another one called, I'll put actor in it, actor rotation. I'll do it for the other one too. Previous one. Actor velocity. So it's more clear. Alright. So these guys, now that I made them, they're going to pop up over here once I hit compile. Alright, and once they pop up, then I can modify them here and sort of create my own game scenario. Just by editing values rather than being dependent on actually playing the game. All right, let's look down here. Okay, get actor velocity. That one. Go here. And we need to add. It was the Buddha's idea to do a bright and shiny FPSC. He came to all of us in our sleep. Alright, is owner being used anywhere else? Here. I don't care about there. Alright, so now I'm going to have it so that... is valid. If it is valid, we're going to set all those variables I just made. Velocity. Can't spell. Set the actor's velocity. We're going to set the actor rotation. These are just local variables to the animation that we're going to use. Alright, and if we don't have it, we'll go straight through. So now, if I'm skating, I can now set something like the max walk speed, which I have no idea what that is. Let's say it is 600. Alright. Is skating. Oh. Hello. That's obnoxious. All that stuff I didn't save. Actually, for now, just to save time, I'm gonna leave it, but we're gonna move. We're gonna make another sequence. Alright, what happens if we hit skating? Is this gonna crash? Look at it, it's flowing, it's working. Okay, what direction are we gonna be moving in? And how fast? Let's move slowly along to the left. -x. Okay, gotta change the max walk speed. Actor rotation. What direction is this? Does not align with that axis in the viewport. Okay. We are moving along Y, which is that direction. For some reason, it does not align with this. And we are facing, though, forward, right? So let's change our rotation a little bit. Let's hit. What is happening? All right. Root rotation is -90. Oh, it's applying root rotation. But it shouldn't be. I need to add a feature real quick to turn off this. Apply root rotation. Okay, by default it'll be on, and I'll turn it off. Max walk speed is going to be 100. Our velocity is going to be 10 in that direction. We're going to be skating. Turn off root rotation. Okay. This is making a little more sense. So we're skating. Do you see how he's leaning? He's leaning along the y-axis. He's leaning that way. But his facing, the active rotation is 0. That means he'd be facing along the x in the world. Okay? So now we can start to change this yaw. Right? And he turns more to the right. Okay, so here's what happens. Once we hit 45, well, -45. What have I done? Alright, once we hit 45, he'll turn in his feet and face the other way. Now, why is it that once we hit 45, his AO yaw doesn't go to -45? Or it does. It's just not satisfactory. Is that really -45? That's like not aligning at all. We have to look at the animation now. This could be that my code is fine, but the animation isn't right here. That's pretty good. The problem is probably once I set it to be, where do I set the reference? Can't show it here. I had to show it in the blend space. Okay, right now we're using ski back slow. Let's see how these look. It's gonna have batteries like dying battery. Vaxity Law, thank you for following. Alright, the problem here is actually just the animation and how additive animations work. And the solution to this is to what? We'll try one thing real quick. We might. This is part of the reason I said that we want to apply this left and right look to walking, because instead what we might do is base it on, and this might be really broken though also, base it on flow on ski forward slow. Oh man. Alright, ski forward slow. This is not gonna look good. And this one also has to be on ski forward slow. Now let's take a look at what happened when I changed what the additive animation is based on. His feet shift weird, look at that. And it doesn't even give us what we want. It doesn't get him to look all the way to the left. In fact, he doesn't look even close to negative 45 degrees. So I'm gonna go back and revert these guys to idle 1. Alright, so the problem here is these values are correct. The animation doesn't match what we'd expect. So we have to figure out how... I have to talk with the animator on resolving that. Because that is not negative 45. That is more than 45. And so the problem is when you jump from one... Why do I keep doing that? The problem is right here. When you jump from one direction to another, it jumps way farther than you'd expect his hands to move. They move all weird. Because it's not aligned right along 45 degrees. So this is something I can't solve right now. Or definitely not in 14 minutes. I have to talk to my animator, get him to redo those particular animations, the additive animation, what they're based on. And then, no, I'll just show you though where we're at again. Let me save this. Right. So one more look and I'll do half speed. Slow motion, 0.5. This guy right here on the right is going to look. Watch the right screen and the left, I mean. Basically, his feet just stay aligned with his direction of movement. And then his upper body rotates to match where he's aiming. But that, right now, is inaccurate, unfortunately. Because the animation needs work. Actually though, the blend space, remember how, skating, event graph. Remember how in the skating thing here, we're setting our move direction to a specific point on the animation that has a lot more depth to it than we're using. We're using it, but really fast. But what if we use the upper body only? So right now, what we do is we jump from like this point to this point to this point to this point. Because we don't want his feet to slide. Alright, so what I'm thinking instead is we'll use this animation twice. Anim graph. Alright, so we're gonna take this out for a second. Okay. This right here cuts off stuff from the spine up. So what we'll do is we'll blend, we'll apply additive. No, not apply additive. Blend, ski. Okay, again, we'll take our speed, our move direction. All right. And we're gonna apply this animation only from the spine up. Layered. I'll just copy this guy. And we're gonna only turn this on for now when we're skating. Alright. So again, if you are having trouble following what's happening, we were using an aim offset for yaw and like the character's weapon left and right. There are 2 full-time coders on the project and 1 part-time. Anyway. Skating. We'll use this, otherwise we won't. And when we're skating, we're gonna take this guy. But it's not actually gonna move direction, because remember we need to move direction. We need root rotation actually. Okay, let's test it. Apply root rotation. Is skating. Direction 10. Okay, so right now we're applying root rotation. What happens if we start to turn? It's not blending. What's going on? Blend weight's 1. Speed doesn't matter. In case it does, set the max block speed to 100. All right. I didn't really play Tribes. And you're probably thinking, like, what the hell is a programmer who hasn't played Tribes doing on a Tribes-like project? I played Tribes Ascend a little bit, and I came on the team because of my programming experience and Unreal experience specifically. I've been working on this game now with mostly everyone else are hardcore Tribes fans. And I'm a big fan of this game in particular. Not just because I'm working on it, but because I do enjoy the whole skiing mid-airing experience. Anyway, I'm working on it now for 10 months, 8 months. And yeah. But my name is Cabrias, but my game name is Cabrias, but you would never find me in the original Tribes. Right, so we're trying to figure out why this isn't blending. Why the upper body isn't happening. Yeah, you guys, game design decisions aren't really up to me, so don't worry about that. Like I'm here helping with a significant portion of the programming and integration of art. Well, we only have 4 minutes left. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to solve this right now. I don't know why. Right now, I'm trying to make it so that only what am I looking for? Ski. That this upper body part of the animation plays, not the lower body part. There will be at least 55 classes. You have to pay for 50 of them though. And the only weapon that's free is the ring launcher. Every other weapon costs maybe like $50 because basically each weapon is a new game, honestly, if you think about it. I can't really go much more into it though. Think. Let's just see what it looks like in game. No. It like rotates. Oh, because the pelt. Let's do another spine. 1 second. Let's do this. This is happening. Oh man, this is not gonna work. Too much of the animation is dependent on the rotation of the pelvis. There'll be 150 machine guns, yeah. I don't know about more than that, though. But obviously dual wielding is included. Regenerating health and shields. Homing missiles. And I've just been informed that I am now fired, yeah. So that is the end of this stream, you guys. It was fun while it lasted. I'm going to work with my animator on resolving this. We're pretty close to having this working, but I will again turn off this. Right now the game will just use floating instead. Because obviously this game revolves around floating and floatiness and scooting. Where is... Anyway, I'm going to clean this up after I end the stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to play Midair in the coming months. That is not an ETA. That is just saying at some point in X amount of months you should play the game. And I will see you guys next time.